What's up, guys? What's going on? It's your boy Will. I got my boy Shane and Jordan here. We're on the first episode of Two True Podcast. This is the big boy podcast. None of that little boy talk. So we're gonna be talking. First topic of the actual podcast itself is going to be red pill versus blue pill. Um, so I'm gonna give a quick little background, and then I'm gonna throw it over to my co-host. So obviously, red pill, blue pill, the whole concept sounds funny. Came from the Matrix thing of Morpheus presenting Neo, either red pill or blue pill. So you can either live life, you know, knowing these lies, or you can know the truth about things. So that's kind of the my bad. That's kind of the basics of the whole red pill, blue pill. But obviously, we're here, kind of share some knowledge. Jordan, how old are you?
Oh, my fault. I'm 25 years old. I'm
25.
25 years old.
Shane?
25.
And same, 25. So we're all 10 years out of our, well, 10 years before our prime. So
Before.
as a guy, yes, not out, yeah. As a guy, your prime's going to be when you hit that 35 range. So I know, Shane, you were talking about to kind of understand this whole, obviously the red pill, you need to understand what the blue pill is. So you want to give us some insight on that?
Yeah, I was saying obviously to transition over, into like that red pill kind of status. You kind of, I feel like most men, if not all men, start off in that blue pill area. What is that blue pill area? That's like, want to have a girlfriend, you want to spoil her, you want to take her on dates, you want to go out and what do I want to say? You want to start a family, you have kids, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we've been growing up to know for our whole lives, So say sometimes, yeah, I don't know where I want to go with this actually. I lost my train of thought.
I feel like, well, I got you. I'll piggyback off that. So obviously, like blue pill, you want a girlfriend, you want to take her out, you want to spoil her. Remember, a lot of it comes from, obviously America transitioning over to it. We're not the minorities anymore; we're the majorities. But Black, Latino, Spanish. The culture has kind of brought up to where I can't speak for y'all, but like fathers aren't in the lives of men. So, for example, my dad wasn't in life for me. So, who taught me? My mom, love her, but a woman. So she's gonna instill some feminist traits. You gotta respect a woman, but you always gotta pay for everything. You gotta treat them a certain way, and then I feel like it kind of leads guys down into a this trail of, and I feel like that's gonna be like for everybody. You're gonna have a relationship or multiple relationships to where you're kind of a simp. You're doing too much for the girl. She's not putting out as much as you're putting out. And it's definitely more of a, they're gonna be like a give and take kind of thing. So I feel like most guys start there, within that blue pill form.
No, it's
Um,
all facts.
what do you feel about that, Jordan?
So to branch off of that, mostly on the blue pill, it's all about girls too, but what the blue pills, what how can I say? You want to, how I know what the blue pill is, society has, I should say, brainwashed you into a certain way. Like,
Sure.
for example, like, oh, it's okay to be 35 years old, still having a 9 to 5 job, not working towards your brand, not, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's where the red pill comes in. Like, okay, you can branch off to that
Sure.
and expand. Like, okay, you don't want to be working a job or working for somebody forever. Red
True.
pill is just not only about girls.
True.
It's also about life, building
Hmm.
your brand, leaving a legacy. Like that's what I strive for. And I'm assuming, no, we are assuming. I mean, not assuming. We are thinking alike. That's why we're here
Oh, sure.
as of today. That's why
Definitely.
I like talking about this.
Yeah, definitely. So we were obviously, like he said, there's the female aspect side of it, which is very prominent. But there's also the big picture aspect of it, like you said. Societies of, it's okay to have a 9 to 5. Work till you get to 75, 80, retire, and then collect your checks. But are you really going to live a life of, you're working for someone else? You know, it's like I say, a lot of people say it's like modern day slavery. Basically, you're working for, as my boy Jamie would call, you're working for the man. So how do you branch out of that? Like you said, build your brand. So like, and I talked to you guys all about this. Like I literally posted up on Snapchat, like, all right, I was putting together my stream, getting my desktop set up, everything. So I posted a little snap, building my brand. And I literally had multiple things. So like, what brand? So I'm like, I'm like, if you don't see it, yo, like every guy, you have a brand. Like you yourself are a brand. You got to build yourself up. And then, with that whole blue pill aspect, it's like you said, keeping you in a box. So how do we branch out of that box? And then we'll talk about obviously like the money aspect. There's obviously a social status aspect. Obviously, like social media is a great example of how that kind of sets a guideline for you need to look up to this kind of idol. You want to strive to be this, but it's kind of like you said, it's kind of keeping you in a box on that standpoint. So for yourself, I'll start with you, Shanyo. What was your big? We'll say from the female aspect. What was your big aspect of like a blue pill? When you started to transition from blue pill into like red pill, we'll say.
Honestly, I say my point was probably like back in like this February. So like I was with a girl for maybe like 4 or 5 years or so, and like I said, I did the thing, going on dates, you do whatever, you do the boyfriend thing. So during my time with her, it was more like how do I put this? It wasn't like there was a lack of respect for me as a man. It was more like, I felt like I could feel myself just kind of get into like this cycle of just like being okay with just being in a relationship, not being comfortable with my growth, trying to be more than what I am. I was just comfortable in my spot. So what had happened was, me and my girl broke up. We had a falling out, whatever. You know what I mean? She moves on. I'm sitting here like, I don't know if I like. So she moves on. I'm kind of left in this position where it's like, damn, like, what do I have? What have I done for myself? And it wasn't the aspect of like being in a relationship that really just killed me. It's more of the fact that like I kind of wasted all this time and I haven't accomplished anything during that time that I was, with my girl. So, I started to branch out, started to check out things like, Steph is Cold, Fresh and Fit, which, we watched a lot of that. Fresh and Fit, that podcast is tough. Um, what else? FitX Fearless, Austin Dunham's, a couple guys that just kind of like put me onto some game, There were things that like I wasn't doing as a man.
Kevin Samuels.
Gotta
recognize Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, you're right. I can't forget about Kevin Samuels.
And that's the Godfather right there.
The Godfather.
That's the Godfather.
That's a fact. Like, not for nothing. Being red pill is more than just about being, just looking for girls. It's more about being a better man yourself. You can improve yourself. There's so many different things we can do every day to make ourselves so much better. So, during that time between February to now, what have I been doing? I've been reading more. I've been looking up like how to like let's see what I say. I've gotten Adobe Creative Studio, so I'm learning to do like Photoshop and like get better at my photography now. I'm trying to essentially build something for myself. I'm trying to build my own business off of web design. Like, there's just so many different things we can just do, and there's so many different things I did. Like, I'm taking the time to learn now that just make me feel so much better with myself, especially my fitness too. I really care about my fitness. I've like lost like 65 pounds since last May, man. Like, I've been on it. So, long story short, like, I think it's the just self-improvement is what drives me into like going towards like the red pill side.
Definitely. And what about you, Jordan? What would
All
you
right,
say would be your big moment?
My big moment? Well, all right. All right. So my big moment was when, now that I think about it, I've been looking back on my life. Like, my big moment when I didn't realize it, but when it was in 2017, I had got fired from my job. I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do? And my brother called me up like, oh, come to California, stay down for a week. Then from there, a week turned into 5 months, and then that's where I learned about health and wealth, and that literally blew my mind. Because my brother was like, you can like make multiple streams of income. I'm like, wait, you can? And that's when my blue pill thinking was broken, and then that's when I started to apply more red pill, but without me knowing the red pill.
Definitely.
So I started doing my fitness heavily. Like I used to weigh 280, 286. Now I'm at like 240 as a, all since like what, 17, 18, 19, like 3 years, 4 years. So without me knowing. But now on the aspect of girls, I had to learn. I learned on the way, but still I still have no knowledge of what the red pill is. I had somewhat knowledge of like how girls are, because I wasn't really too focused on girls when I was like 21. So like from 18, from 21, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm saving this money, doing what I gotta do. But from there on in, I had got better with my fitness, my health, and my wealth. But when I truly experienced female nature and how the world
Mhm.
is, was a couple months back. I say about February. You know, I'll make a long story short. Met this girl on Hinge. You know, um, we were talking and stuff, and I really thought, quote unquote, she was the one. That's because
And
we were seeing each other often.
how old were you when you met her? You
25.
said
This
you
is
were
a couple months
21?
ago.
Oh, a couple
uh,
months ago? Okay.
yeah, a couple months ago. But like I've known like female nature, but not to the real aspect of okay, this is
Yeah, yeah,
how
definitely.
female really are. So
Mm-hmm.
like I've known, but that's when it really hit me like, okay, this is how females really are. So, right, talking, and then out of nowhere, it was 3 months, boom, out of nowhere, broke up with me before my birthday. Was going crazy, and I didn't know what to do. So
Definitely.
then I had, I turned to the God himself, future. Nah, no, but for real though, like I watched what really got me into the red pill even before that had happened.
Mhm.
Was my cousin. He had put me onto Steph is Cold. Yeah, so I was watching a lot of Steph is Cold videos, so I already had more knowledge
Mhm.
prior to me being in a relationship. But what really kicked it was that breakup and how I felt and what I was thinking. I was like, yo, like what I had after all that, it was just like,
Mhm.
damn, that really made me think deep down, like yo, what, like I gotta do something. Like I don't want this. I don't want to. One, I don't want to ever feel like this ever again. Two, because nobody
True.
wants to feel like that. Two, and two, we want to have better outcomes. So that's
Yes.
when I took the initiative to invest more into myself. So like right now, I'm working like Steph is Cold is my actual mentor. Like I actually talk to Steph is
Mhm.
Cold. So
Oh, that's dope.
I'll be talking to him, like we have a group chat and stuff like that, and I'll be asking like financial questions, fitness questions. Even a lot of people asking about the girl questions, but I'll be getting like out to other people, but mostly I
Oh,
just
cool.
like we have weekly calls, so
Oh,
that's what
definitely.
that's what made me like do more
Do
ever
more
since that. But
transition over from the blue
transition,
to the red.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
I think it's good as a man to have that mentorship too, and you have like a different opinion and a different perspective that comes from like a good heart too, and understanding. It's nice to share those kinds of experiences with each other too, especially you talk about like finances or like women or whatever the case may be.
Mhm. Like,
So
hey, I'm going through this. Yo, bro, Shane, what you think of this? Yo, Jordan, what do you think of this? I always feel it's like emotional networking, if that makes sense, I guess, for guys. Because like I said, for guys, and once again, I had a friend. I'm not gonna say, but there are people who will post stuff. I feel like for a guy, you can't be too emotional with certain things. I feel like a lot of things you kind of have to do, like you do have to keep inside, and then obviously your guy friends are the ones you can kind of talk to about certain things, but obviously you don't go full on like detail, crying your heart out to a dude. We don't do that, yo. We're not doing that. But
yeah,
it's always good to like interact and then have those kind of talks. And then, like you said, great thing for Blue Pill. Society is kind of like you can't talk about that, like like you're shunned for it. Girls will shun you for it. You share way too much, two emotions, or you're too emotional, whether it's in your relationship or just to a girl you're talking. Um, like they say, oh, he's too emotional, he's not dominant, he's a simp, stuff like that. So it's amazing to see, and it's also interesting. Think of it like this: there's, they always say behind every great man there's a woman, right?
yep,
But behind any guy that's in this blue pill, there's always either a girl, like I said, either a girl in a relationship, or the whole social media status of, oh, I want to get this IG who's a 10, but I'm not even a high value guy myself, or I don't even have, some of the big things going for me, money, fitness, and social status. So I definitely feel like this whole society thing, which is very interesting, but that's what the whole goal of obviously doing this podcast and everything like that is, to reach out to people who are still obviously, they may be, like you said, you knew a little bit about it, like I want to build my brand, but maybe they don't have a mentor, maybe they don't, are not able to speak to someone who's a more high value guy, they don't have a father in their life. So then it's also nice to you can interact with people who are your age, who are going through the same things, or may have or a little older or younger, have gone through the same things, so then you can kind of like, learn from their experiences. So I definitely think that's one of the benefits, because we all had friends where, and I feel like we've all, I'll share my story real quick, just so I can then relate everyone's story together. I went through a breakup where I was on and off with a girl for 5 years. Um, you know, we mutually separated, but when I look back on it, and this is twice too, because I broke up and then we stopped dating for a year, and then I got back together for that second year. So it was 2 years on, 1 year off, 2 years on, and each time, literally within a month or two, I elevated my life without having her in there, which made me kind of be like, damn. So I'm in a relationship. This whole blue pill of like, I'm content with where I'm at. Y'all have seen it. Before I met her, I was a buck 98. I lost over 130 pounds, gained most of that back. So then in my second time after I broke up, I lost about 35 pounds ish or so far. So I went up to like 340. So I'm around like the 300, 290-ish range, and obviously still cutting and stuff like that. But it's amazing to see how, each time I was in this relationship, I got content. I was still making good money, but I wasn't I wasn't making more money, or, getting that passive income to come in, or making money moves. It wasn't until after I, split and kind of like got out of this whole mindset, like, damn, like I kind of got content. I kind of placed it, what did she bring to she didn't even bring that much to the table too. Obviously nice body, but personality wasn't there. Didn't motivate me to do other things. Didn't see herself as like, what does she bring to the table on some of the things that I wanted to do. Um, so it's also amazing, and I'm going to link everybody's situation. We all went through that one breakup that was like, wait, there's something wrong with what's going on. And now we got to become more consciously aware. Like I have to move different if I want to see the outcome. It's just like the gym. If I'm in the gym and let's say, for example, I'm with people who are just content maintaining, right? But I'm trying to bulk, I'm trying to get mass. And I can't be on the same program that those people are on if I'm trying to gain muscle. It's just like in life. If you're content and you're not making moves to make more money, or to like fitness, or whether it be social status, you're going to be just stuck in a place. And then once you finally realize, like, oh, dang, oh, if I start doing this heavier workout program, shit, I'm starting to see the results. I'm getting some muscle. It's kind of like that concept as well. So they all tie in together. And then it's just also amazing. And every guy, I feel like, goes through this, where they have that one breakup or multiple breakups where they're just, you know, there's a give and take from that aspect, which it's awesome to see from that standpoint.
You get fed up after a while, bro. Enough is enough at a certain point. We all have like, and it's crazy, like you say that, because you're like, what do we do all this for? Like, maybe not purposely, but like subconsciously, like we go to the gym, right, to look good. We try to make more money because as men, we're like supposed to be like, caregivers, right? We're supposed to be the ones that are the breadwinners, supposed to be the ones to take care of the family. Men make more money in order to help their family. So essentially, you get a girlfriend, you're like, okay, I got my girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start slacking on the gym. I'm not gonna like work as hard no more. Like, I got the prize already. And that's what happens. And that's where I feel like a lot of people fall. Like, we don't have to be that way. We should always be trying to progress. We should always be trying to improve ourselves. We don't need to, like, we should never we should never plateau, for example. So
Definitely like that. What do you feel about that with that, Jordan?
So what I've noticed is that what most people do in relationships when they get content, like, okay, I'm here, but what they fail to have the mindset of is to always put yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
That's big, because most of the people I know put their, let's say, the significant other before
themselves,
their purpose, or literally
Mm-hmm.
before themselves and or their purpose. Honestly, it should be like not your first, not your second, but your probably third, if you think about it, because you gotta take care of yourself first so that you can provide for your significant other and or what you want in life.
That's true. And great example. So I was literally just talking to this chick, and I asked her, I was like, all right, what's your ideal guy? And then I was like, what's the role of the guy in the relationship? She was like, I don't want a guy to have a role in a relationship. I was like, what? So I was like, what's your role? She's like, we don't have roles. It's a partnership. So I'm like, wait. Relationships and partnerships are two totally different things. So what you're telling me is when you know, think you're in a relationship, you're technically in a partnership. You're looking at it as a business entity, basically, which is okay to understand from that standpoint. But then I was like, wait. So, and I started asking her like, hey, what do you want for stats and all that kind of stuff? And that's a whole nother different topic. But I was like, all right, so what's the role in a relationship? Like a relationship, someone has to lead. So, like you're saying, for most guys, if you're the one who's going to provide and everything like that, so your role is to lead. Then the woman's role, or obviously vice versa, whatever relationship you want to look at, is to be there by the side of the man. She was like, no, I don't agree with that. We're both going to be equal on everything we're going to do. So I was like, all right, you're going to pay the bills 50-50. You're going to do this 50-50. And I feel like that mentality honestly leads to them when guys get kind of complacent. Like great example for myself. So, obviously I got fired from my job, but the money I was making, I was, all right, perfect, great. I'm making plenty for what I have. My girl was paying. I could pay for everything that we needed, but obviously she would pay for the portion of her bill. So I was like, all right, perfect. I'm living a good life. I could just live this all my life and I'll be good. But then I'm like, I'm not doing anything for myself. And, and great example, like for yourself, Shane, like you took a leap and was like, wait, if I'm working a full-time job, getting paid this amount, I could work less and get paid the same amount, which you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're maximizing your output.
Exactly. Like, now that I'm, back. So basically, I'm back to bartending and serving. Before that, selling cars, right? So essentially, bartending and serving, I work less. I'm working only the weekend. I'm working like basically like Friday.
My boy's selling
Sunday,
lemons
right?
out here, yo. You're selling them lemons.
Right.
You're selling them beaters, right? You're selling
them Don Julio shots, bro. That's it. So
now I'm talking about the car. I mean,
you're talking about the You're selling them lemons
almost
too,
slipped
bro.
right there. He's like, yo, tell.
No, but like, so basically what happened was I was like, yo, listen, like I need to be on my purpose, bro. I don't want to work here for the rest of my life and then retire and like at a job and then like be 60 old and then wait for my pension. That's just not ideal to me. I want to make the best of use of my time, and that's what we should. Every day is different. Wake up and you have a different task to do each day. I work, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes I usually work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That still leaves me with 3 days, 72 hours to do whatever I want during that time. So during that time, what am I doing? Like I'm reading. Like I said, I'm reading. I'm looking at web design. I just bought, the Adobe Creative app, so now I can like learn like how to do Photoshop and like edit photos, so I can get into photography. Like I'm just gonna venture out and trying to figure out what I want to know, what I want to learn about, and I've been a lot happier, like being able to do that stuff. I got more time in the gym now too. I just started a 10-week squat program. I'm on 3 weeks now, so like it's dope. Like I appreciate the fact that like I can make the same kind of money somewhere else, still have my free time, and then improve on that. Yeah.
Which is awesome. So like from the standpoint of when you're younger, as soon as you turn 18, even as a guy, obviously before this you can do this, but as soon as you turn 18, your mindset, honestly, like I said, if I could ever take anything back, most guys, there's obviously, and I was talking to you about this, Jordan, personally, this, and even you too, Shane, there's some guys who are a little more dominant than the others, and there are some guys who aren't as dominant as others, which is fine. Some need more emotional, I guess, belonging, I guess, if that's a word I can use, I think makes sense. Emotional belonging. I want a girl. I need a girl to be there because it's going to give me validation and just the emotional support, which I guess is fine. But if you know that having that girl or that relationship is going to take away from you bettering yourself and also setting yourself up for the future, for like I honestly would tell any guy right now, if you are between the ages of 18 and 30, do not get in a relationship. That's what I personally feel like. If you can avoid it and you can, that if you don't have that emotional belonging or you feel like you need that emotional connection, obviously, no homo. Like obviously, that's where your guy friends come in from the standpoint of, like I said, going out, get drinks with your guy friends or going on hikes, working out at the gym, just the social connection. If that's what sorry, not emotional. If you want the social connection, that's what your homies are there for. If you want the emotional connection, then my biggest thing I'll tell guys, if you want the emotional connection and some stem, engage only in friends with benefits and do not wife up these chicks. Do not date. You can get out there and obviously take girls on dates, but the end goal should be, all right, by the time I get to 30, between 35, I should have this foundation set to then now I can build. Because when you're 18 to 30, you probably don't have a foundation. So most people are not building a foundation before they build a house. They're trying to build a house before they have a foundation. And that's the biggest thing I think someone can take away from any of this. Build your foundation first. Do not fall in that blue pill aspect. Or and just, like I said, build your foundation before you build a house. You learn to crawl before you learn to walk.
Yeah.
These dudes are trying to go from crawling to jump to sprinting, running triathlons and shit.
Saying, yeah.
And then I also want to add on the whole the dating part. If you're gonna take, and this is not like on a side note, if you're gonna date a woman, keep it low investment. Don't make it over fucking $80 to $100 on the first date. Don't ever do that. Like, if you're gonna take a girl out who is on the stage of, I break it down to like to tiers. So like there's tier 3 being the highest, like taking her to Bahamas or something like that. But you're spending that amount of money when that girl's on tier 1. No, you want to keep a low investment. Like I tell every guy, like, oh, like for example, I got my boy, he be always asking me questions like, yo, what should I say to this girl? Da da da. What should I bring her? Da da da. I'm like, yo, first things first, keep it low investment because you don't owe nothing to this girl. So just so that you can feel that, okay, this guy got money. Da da da. Take her. I always say to every guy, take her out for some ice cream because who does not like ice cream?
True.
Ice cream is so low investment. At most, what you're gonna spend if you want to go high end ice cream, $20. I don't know, Ben and Jerry's.
Nah, not that Ben and Jerry's. That's that. Remember, we from CT. That Milk Craft.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
Cold Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, switch
Milk
it.
Craft, if you really like it, that's low key.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
like,
That is what's that, like $12 a cup or some shit like that?
Yeah, if you get a shake.
Like $12,
Word, yo,
yeah, bro.
crazy.
Them giant waffle cones, it's nice.
I never had it. I might have to try that.
Yeah,
But-
bro. You ever seen? I don't know if. Oh, we don't go off a tangent. Fuck it, we're gonna talk about this.
No,
ice cream.
I got it.
So like, nah, dude, Milk Craft, like, they got like the waffle cones. They make them fresh there. So like the ice cream is like cryo frozen, I think. So like they literally like I think they freeze it in front of you as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like the Subway of ice cream almost. You go there,
That
you walk
sounds
in.
good.
Yeah, it's not bad. The cones are giant. They're like this big. It's like a giant waffle cone. They put like 2 scoops inside of it. You can pick it. They have like maybe like 8 or 9 different flavors. Like,
And they're like actual waffle cones. They're not the crispy waffle cones. They're like the
Fresh
actual like
waffles.
bread waffle cones.
It's like a
type.
Belgian waffle cone, pretty much.
Sheesh.
Like, yeah, man. Like that's
That
a nice
sounds kind
base.
of good, yo. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to Milk Craft,
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out to Milk Craft.
Shout out to Milk Craft. Be a little sponsor if you want to. Shit. But biggest thing, and I've even told dudes, yo, switch up the date. Like if you're talking to a chick, and not saying she's out of your league, but you just feel like, and obviously most chicks, I always say this: guys want sex, girls want attention. So girls are gonna leverage the attention. Girls are gonna leverage the sex to get the attention from guys. Guys are gonna level their amount of attention to try and get the sex from the girls. So if you're dealing with a chick, and this goes out to my boy Fresh CEO from Fresh and Fit. He said, switch up the date last second. So you have plans, you're gonna go on a date, and now obviously I wouldn't say go from, oh, we're gonna go to the Michael B. Jordan Steakhouse, so she gets a dress, all that kind of stuff. No, if you're saying like, all right, we're gonna go to like on the border or some shit like that, or like a Mexican restaurant, get tacos or something like that. I'd be like, yo, I already ate. Sorry, I went to the gym. Yo, how about we just do a little ice cream and go for a walk? Now she said, no, I'm really not feeling it. Then she's she's just there for the food. She's really not trying to get to know you. She's really not that interested into you. So, just to give another insight on that.
Yeah, no. Another thing too,
It's a
though.
good one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Low investment, like you said, low investments, yo. Because like I said, if you don't, these guys, you have money, but you don't have that foundation. So you can't be coming up to the plate and striking out every time. You only get a certain amount of at bats with the money that you have. If that money, go ahead, my man. No, go ahead.
I was saying, imagine this too. It's too often, too many times I see guys taking these girls on these nice, enjoyable dates. You know what I mean? Like these nice, expensive dates. Take it to Foxwoods, go out, like you said, go to like Sugar Factory, for example, whatever, right?
No,
And
fuck
then
that.
they
Yeah,
get
that's
they get
crazy.
down they get down to the end of the night. They're like, she's like, oh well, I had a good time. I think I'm gonna go inside. I got work in the morning, right? Like like
Oh, I had too much sugar. Oh,
that
I can't do
that
it.
that $40 drink really put me over. Like, oh yeah, but like I'm saying, like bro,
I'll
like
be like,
He's not coming back.
too many of them expensive $100, $200 dates where these dudes been going on, and then they come back and like, oh, she's like, oh, well, I had a good time, and I'm like I'm saying, you ain't gotta smash the first night. That's not like necessarily what I'm saying. It's more so like, is there a chance of someone doing that to you after the date? She's like, oh, I'm getting tired. I want to go home. Like, she's probably not gonna go out with you again, man. She's probably just gonna let dead it right there. She's like, she got her free meal. You know what I mean? She's chilling. She had a good time. She ate. You paid for it, and she's all, oh yeah, you want me to?
No, you good. No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, it's like, what I mean? Like, she's ate, she's good. You know what I mean? You probably was sitting there being, maybe, she's sitting here trying to do everything right, and then you got no reward, right? At the end of the day, you know what you wanted, right? You know what you wanted out of this, and then she knows what she wanted out of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was really interested in you, like you're saying, like you could take her for something simple, like ice cream, for example. Don't hype it up and be like, oh, let's go to fucking Benny Hanna's, and then tell her you're about to get ice cream after you already ate, because like don't do shit like that. But like you said, make it small, simple, and then. If she's really interested in you, she don't care. She's not gonna care where y'all go. Like, she probably take her ass to Chili's. Probably gonna be cool if she likes you.
Little 2 for 10. You feel me? Or 2 for 20, whatever they call
2
it.
for 10.
But like,
2 for 10.
but like you said, so most guys would be like, nah, if you're going on the first date, you should be trying to fuck. Some people may be like, you know what? And I'm not a big believer. Like, okay, now if a girl goes on like a ice cream date, or maybe go out to get like coffee, tea. Unless you super smooth, most of what I know, we're both, all three of us are smooth. We could probably finesse it. Come to the crib, fuck. But if some guys are like, because spending a little bit of bread, gets the pussy more, gets girls feeling it a little bit more. So take take what we all said. All right, chick you interested in, you want to fuck. All right, if maybe she'd be interested. All right, yo, let's go on an ice cream date. Let's go on a hike. All right, boom, that's the first date. So you do that, right? Perfect, boom. So you get to feel it. And on that first date, you should be asking certain questions like, yo, what's your ideal guy? What's your past relationships been? And she will give you green lights and she'll give you red flags. Learn from those, take those red flags and be like, okay, all right, you're just a chick I just want to smash and fuck. All right, second date, all right, we'll go out to Chili's. We'll go out to, get some tacos. That's within the first or second date is when you should be trying to fuck. And then if it's obviously just, I just want to have sex with her, that's it. That's fine. Both mutual agreement. Perfect. Boom. You're done for. All you're out is obviously you had ice cream, or let's say you took a hike. You just went on a hike, your gas, and then whatever you spent on the second date for no more than, I'll say like $60 with drinks included. And obviously tip your bartender and servers, yo. But that's the way I look at it. Like, if you're not trying to fuck on the first date, the second date, that's how you should set it up. Because I'm not taking on 2 big dates. $70 here, $80 here. That's $150, or even, let's say, even more. I'm not doing that for some pussy. Like, I'm just not gonna do that.
And just imagine this too. You already went on one date with her, right? She ain't give it up. Whatever, cool. You go on a second date with her. She's like, oh no, I think I'm okay, bro. She's not into you. That's the point where you should just be like, all right, well, because if you just want, like I said, you already know what you want. If you were looking for a simple outcome, at the end of the day, you just want to have sex, right? You don't plan on wiping this chick up. You don't plan on staying with her. You went on 2 dates with her. You know what I mean? She don't want to kiss you. She don't want to. She's a little small hug, maybe. You know what I mean, bro? She's not into you, dog. Like, you could just stop that right then and there.
And like Jordan said, that you're keeping at a low investment. And like I said, the people listening to this are probably between the 18 to 25-year range. Let's say you're a college student. Let's say you're someone who like is working, but you don't have your bread up like that. You can't be affording to, strike out $70, $80, 60, even 50, 40. Like that's a pair of shoes at the outlet. That's a cut. Like, I need to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we said, while you're building that foundation, you don't want all these little chinks and cracks in the, or time constraints that are going to stop you from building that foundation. So, keep that low investment. That's the best thing. That's a good advice. That's really good advice. And see, it's amazing to see how we transitioned from we gave our past, which was the blue pill moments, And then now we're transitioning over into like our red pill moments, what we're learning, what we're starting to incorporate into our lives, and which is going to make us one, better men, but two, also build a stronger foundation.
For facts. Just don't think.
Now, one of the things I want to get eventually in the podcast is obviously I want to start pulling up like like Instagram, Twitter profiles, Bumble profiles, Plenty of Fish profiles, and just read what some of these chicks are saying. Because remember, there's the guy aspect of all this. You know, you could look at it. Some guys say they either the predator or the prey. Depending on how you position yourself, you're a more dominant guy, you're the predator. If you're a less dominant guy, more simp, you're the prey. You're gonna get preyed on by these girls. They're gonna take advantage, or you're not gonna get what you want from that standpoint. So there's the female aspect side of it, and with what most girls, like we said, they want attention. So by you giving all that attention, let's say you're in a relationship, you're giving all this attention. You're giving your personal time to her for her personal time. Women feed off that. They will take advantage of that stuff. They definitely will take advantage of that stuff. Now, the next thing on the topic I wanted to talk about was a recent. Now, this is for obviously for it could be a younger guy, middle-aged guy. I talked to you guys about this. A female who had posted on Facebook dating about how she had a kid. This is going a little off topic. It's not really going off topic. I just got to throw this.
This is a good one, though. It's always funny as hell.
So she has a kid, and she posts up. She doesn't post anything about herself. She doesn't say anything like even the bullshit of like, oh, I'm trustworthy, I'm loyal, I'm respectful, I'm hardworking, I'll cook clean. She literally just made a list of demands on her Facebook profile. That's a big red flag. That's like a nuclear bomb. That's a big red flag. You didn't even talk about yourself. You just talked about everything that you wanted. So you have a kid that's on the way, and the baby daddy's involved in the kid's life. Okay, cool, great, perfect. Second, you have another kid on the way, and you're currently pregnant with that kid. And you literally talked about how you want. I'm not here for like the BS and like which I understand, but you didn't even give any pluses of why would I especially in the reason why this is going to relate to everything, because if you're younger listening to this, do not get involved with single moms. That's very important. Do not. Yes, my mom was a single mom, and I don't even. Like I always said, I'm always more mad at the dad who's not involved in the child's life, not the guys who don't want to be involved in that mom's life because she has a kid. So guys, don't feel like you can't have preferences over not dating single moms. Do not do it. It is not worth the investment. So I'm like, dang, she's bringing nothing to the table except baggage. And it sounds harsh, but that's the truth. She's literally bringing baggage. It's the reality, and like we said, everything's going to relate. That's the blue pill society. Oh, you can't talk like that. You can't be talking like that. Dang, that's so awful to say. You're talking about her kids and all that stuff being as baggage. I'm like, but it's the truth. In the relationship, a single mom will always prioritize the kids over you, which is fine in certain situations. But if, like we said, it's a relationship, it's a give and take. If that's all the time, you can't do it. And you're also going to put yourself in a bad position. Like I'm saying, you're trying to build. It's like this. Shane, I'm trying to build a house. Jordan, I'm trying to build a house, right? I'm building this foundation, right? And I'm laying down the concrete, right? Y'all just come in with fucking pickaxes and shovels and chisels, and y'all start chipping at the foundation, right? So it sounds weird, but those are the kids, her that you're going to have to spend money towards. So all this money I'm spending and all the time I'm investing in the kids and her, my foundation is I'm trying to build it, but I'm kind of getting slowed down. If y'all keep taking from my foundation, how am I going to build the fucking foundation, then build that house? So that had me and she said the second baby daddy is going to be involved in the child's life, which I don't knock that. That's not what I'm knocking. I'm knocking the aspect of, wow, she's bringing nothing to the table. And especially for a dating profile, like that's a huge red flag. At this point in her life, she's only about her kids. I don't care what she says. She is going to take advantage of any opportunity of any sucker that would even give her the time and day.
And then think about like this too. Why do you think that she thinks it's okay to have a dating profile and to list all these demands and then to offer nothing in return. Like, just like take a moment to just think about why she's like that. Like, why is that okay?
Yeah, people she doesn't even know, right? All right,
Yeah,
yo,
to
I
make those
go.
kinds of like demands. Oh, go
Of
ahead.
course. No, I'm listening. No, I'm just picking back off you. Keep going, keep going. I'm not interrupting.
No, that was my point. Like, I'm just asking like general questions to like both you guys. Like, why do you think that she thinks that's okay to just have those kinds of demands? You know, just like instead of just saying things about herself, she's just saying this is what you need to be okay with.
Because she's a strong, independent woman. That's why.
Yeah, because yes,
That's
she's a strong, independent woman. Because they have led to believe, like, okay, it's okay to get another guy just like that. But there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hold on, wait, but back to what Will was saying. What do you provide? What do you offer to the table? What you're offering is somebody else's kid. I'm not gonna fucking start somebody's other guys playing safe game. I'm not. There's no. I'm not gonna do that. Like,
think.
hell no.
Yes,
No,
yo.
not at all. Like, why would I? Who in their right mind would agree to that? Like, it's just who? I just can't imagine.
Think about it, and
Somebody would.
think about this, yo. Like, and especially and it's the irony of I really don't want one night stand, so I'm not gonna be a chick that you're just gonna fuck one time, and you're gonna have to, if you're gonna fuck me, you're gonna be with me, kind of thing. So it's like, wait. How are you gonna say that when you literally are on a dating site and you're having a kid with another guy? So obviously that's a lie. So first of all, you're lying right off the
Right?
bat. Like, you're not even being honest. So you're not trying to see where it goes. You're literally just demanding. So I just want to tell guys, yo, don't. I saw this and I was just like, this is crazy.
It's
Like,
funny because she's got two baby daddies, right? So she's like
she's
trying to make it
36,
sound
37, and she's not bad. Like,
she's probably like saying like, "Oh, I'm tired. These dudes playing me. Third guy I'm with is gonna have to just stay with me. He's gonna have to be okay with all this stuff because these two guys fucked it up for him." Like,
think about that, yo. I don't know any dude, please. I don't know any dude that would ever walk into a situation like that.
you should know what red pill blue pill is. If anyone's seen the Matrix, you know what red pill blue pill is, right? Like, I shouldn't have to explain this, but like,
Whoa, remember, that's a '90s movie. So now remember, if we're talking to 18-year-olds,
oh,
man, they weren't born after 2000, even 9/11, like I said.
all right,
So
guys.
we're gonna have to explain a little bit.
In 1999, there was a film that came out called The Matrix, right? I'm just gonna skip right past to it. So there was a scene where Lawrence Fishburne, the character in the Fishburne, whatever, offered
Named
Keanu
Morpheus.
Reeves a choice. Yeah, Morpheus offered Keanu Reeves. I can't remember the names.
Neo.
Neo. He
I
offered
don't even.
Neo a
I've
choice.
never even, not to cut you off. I've never even watched all the movies straightforward, but the names just pop out for me for some reason.
I can remember the actor's name, bro. I just can't remember. Like, I don't know why I can't remember it, but
Hey, that's better to know the actor's name.
right. So he offers Lawrence offers Morpheus offers Neo a choice. He says you can take the blue pill. The story ends here. You can just wake up and believe whatever you want to believe, and then just live on your life. Or you can take the red pill, and you can stay in Wonderland and see how far down the rabbit hole goes. Essentially saying like you can see what life is really like. Or you could just stay on one side and just keep believing what you want to believe, and then just believe that everything's black and white. So, and obviously, we don't think it's black and white.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, we used
Definitely
to.
not. Yes,
we took the red pill now, so that's what we on.
so we want, and the biggest thing is we want to be woke.
Mhm.
Guys need to be woke because society, like I said, will not allow you to talk like this or think like this because you will be shamed for it. You will be looked at as misogynistic or an asshole or a dick, as they call, or little dick energy, all these kind of things that have preference and all this kind of stuff. So it's very interesting to see, kind of where we're at kind of like in society. So it's very interesting to see that whole aspect of it. So if we could to sound it all off, Jordan, what pill are you on?
Oh, the red pill all day. Red pill all day. Like,
Shane?
red pill.
Red pill, of course.
I'm about to go with that purple pill. You feel me? It's like,
Yeah, a little bit of both.
but that's one thing too. That a lot of people say, "Oh, what about the hybrid? It doesn't work." And there's so much more this branches off into. There's the fitness aspect. There's the social media aspect of it, and that's the biggest thing too. Social media, you could talk about it all day.
All day.
And whether it's social media or media in general, like, it's crazy. Like, you really like think about it, just like how like, and it's very similar to even like the concept of like like how, like, there's like people with conspiracies of like, oh, how does the government work? And like, there's so many things that you don't know about the world that if, the government told you, that you would kind of like rethink life itself. It's very similar to kind of this whole concept of like how like social media and the media kind of control the narrative and then how you kind of have to operate.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very, very interesting.
definitely.
It's like,
But
you know,
damn, I
it's,
forgot. Well, I was saying something, but I keep getting cut off from
Nah, you
the
good.
internet. But no, wait. I think I was saying like, oh, back to like, the person knowing all this knowledge, but like, if the person would step up and take care of another, back to what we were saying, take care of
Oh
another
yeah.
kid's, like
Hmm.
another person's kid.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll commend that dude. I mean, like, yo, you got a good heart. But fuck,
Yes.
that's one thing I want to
Yeah,
fucking
that's
do.
crazy.
Like, I'll be like,
But
yo,
that dude has to have the house built though too. Like I don't think you can just be coming in there and not having nothing. And
oh yeah,
and
no,
then what kind of? It's hard for me to picture it though, but like, what guy could see all of that, right, and just be like, this is the woman for me. That's that's my whole like thing. Like, you know what I mean? As a man, when say you're on a dating app, right? You have hundreds upon thousands of choices, and you come across his bio, and you see that, and you're like, I'm swiping right. Just be honest, bro. You wasn't thinking about like you're not. I don't think you're thinking about becoming a dad. You're not thinking about being okay with that. I think at the end of the day, you might have just been interested in that girl. And you want to have sex, and you're willing to like compromise in order to do that. So like, that's the thing about it. Like, if you're willing to do that much just to have sex,
all to
and
you, power to you, man.
that's
Yeah, power to
all
you, I
power to you.
guess.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you can give. You can lead a horse to heart to. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. That's all I can say.
Yes. And we're
You
trying
can't
to
make it drink.
protect the guys out there, yo. No matter
yeah,
For
what
real.
age, yo, protect the guys from this, because some guys would be naive and be like, all right, sure, I'll, fuck around and maybe date. And she's not even bad though. It's just like, I maybe date you, and all right, oh boom, stuck with these kids. Oh boom, shit, oh, like it's not setting you up to build that foundation. That's damn, my boy aggressive right there. Lay off the
Right.
There's this gnat that's flying around, bro. I've been trying to kill it blue for a minute now.
my boy, kill the gnats off the
Watch me.
stream, bro.
Yo, but what I would like to do in this podcast too is, some of the, because I know a lot of girls who thinking process. I know a few like right off the top of my head. Like
Who's the one we
they're
talked
thinking.
to at karaoke night? Don't say text me her name. I forgot her name, bro. I need to get her number, yo, so I can
Yeah, I see it all the time. So I
yes,
got
bro.
you.
Bro, text me her name and number so I can ask her, be like, yo, hey, it's Mr. The guy that's getting you pissed off. Yo, we need you on the podcast.
Yo, it was because I saw her and I was like, yo, so like, what do you think about the whole conversation? He was like, oh yeah, I mean, he's gonna be pissed off, but it was like, but that's
The
how
truth.
you are, right? That's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, there's no,
It's the truth.
like most women be like, no, all women, I have to say, or no, most women, because there's people out there. Most women they say like, oh, when you give them the fact, they'd be like, oh, but I feel like no, it's the fact, and I've learned that through Fresh and Fit. They
Yeah,
say
it's
because
crazy.
that's what they,
They're the perfect example.
yeah, the
Girl,
perfect example. It's like, oh, but I
you-
feel like this is not. No, it's the fact. That's the fact. You can't go around that. That's how I know you are thinking with your emotions.
yes.
But back to what I was saying, yo, like I know like a lot of like whose thinking process is like the modern day woman.
Hmm.
And it's just like, yo, I would love to like see what their thought process is too. And then obviously creates more audience too.
Of course. Of course. The biggest thing too is like obviously there's like I said, we understand now, guys are starting to understand. Well, we're trying to make aware what is the females aspect on the side. The majority, remember, we're talking majority here. The majority of way females operate, and then what's the majority of the way men operate, and how, like we said, there's obviously this whole. We'll get into this later on in different episodes, but there's like obviously like a 10% of the high value guys, but then there's this other 90% that think totally different or are totally different when it comes to other certain things. So like I said, hey, I know you have friends, Shane. I know you got people you could probably bring on. I got people I could bring on. And then it just creates conversation. That's the
Right?
best part about it.
It's just nice to have these discussions, especially with other women too, because like obviously like you'll spread this stuff to like not all women will understand this or like you said like don't get emotional like I feel like this or I feel like that. It's not coming from a place of emotion. It's just coming from like the
Facts.
like the things. These are things that happen in a daily life, and these are things as men we have to go through. And then and then like, oh, but I feel like, and I hate this, bro. I hate when you try to like, voice these kinds of opinions, and they're like, oh, you're misogynistic. Oh, it's like I don't hate women. None of us do. I'm pretty sure we don't. We're talking about ways to just protect yourself as a man and be more. Sorry, I gotta put this down for a second.
Good.
As a man,
or even if they don't call you misogynist, they say, "Oh, that's very misogynistic." I'm like, well, where's the hatred of women in there? Right. Like it's just speaking, like feeling, like I said, obviously facts, personal experience. Like where is the hatred of? Like you're using terms. Like obviously, I don't think we're at that level to where we're having girls like, "Oh, you're misogynist." They're probably like, "Oh, that what you said was very misogynist." But I've had friends, even like their baby moms or like even like their girlfriends, like, "Oh, you can't be saying that. That's very misogynistic. We live in this new day and age." But I'm like, yeah, but this new day and age doesn't mean it's right. Just because we live in this new day and age doesn't mean it's right.
Right. And it's not like I don't think anything we said today has like even quotes like even comes close to being misogynistic. Not even the definition of it. I think it's like these are just ideas that we have as men. Like okay, listen, like I'm not gonna waste my time going on a bunch of dates. This is what I want, for example, or I'm not gonna sit here and simp over a woman just because I gotta do like what I mean. Like you shouldn't have to take a woman on multiple dates, buy her flowers every day, do all this just to like have some fun with her. Like at the end of the day, and it's all about just protecting yourself so you don't have to waste your time with a man. There's more things you could be doing besides chasing girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then
and that's the benefit of this. Like I said, this I'm gonna keep reiterating this so many times. I just feel like it's something that's needed in the community. Like yeah, we have the the older guys, the fresh and Pitts, Pitts, sorry, Fitz, my bad. The guys early 30s, and then obviously have some towards like their late 20s. Like we're in our prime like 20s, like 25. Like it's nice we're gonna be living proof of does it work, and it would be awesome that we can kind of track this progress of as years come by, where we start from obviously today from doing this podcast to where we'll be in a year. And then just we get to be living proof of like I wouldn't say the experiment. I would say, I guess the experiment or just like the generation changing to become more woke and more aware. And then hopefully more people will follow and start to see that. And then we can just build this community and everything like that. Cause like I'll say the biggest thing for any blue pill guy, especially if you have a friend who's in that mindset, is seeing a friend get hurt. Like and especially if you have a friend in that mindset who's also not strong enough for that mindset. We all have friends like that. Everybody in that day in life, whether they're older, younger, we don't want to see friends get hurt. So we want to make sure we protect them and kind of just make them understand like, all right, this is where you need to move. This is how you should operate. But always be aware of basically like your surrounding of what you're in and you're involved in too.
Yeah, that's definitely facts. Because like for example, I didn't have that
guidance.
Like, I knew about it. I didn't have that guidance, but I was just like, damn. And that's what led to me doing what I did with this girl. So it's just like I didn't have that guidance. All I
of
had,
course.
Like I talked to people about it, but like I didn't. They were gonna be biased about it. So I was like, man, just do what you gotta do to better yourself. But luckily, I already knew what my purpose was. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this, better myself. That I use the pain as fuel. So that's literally what I did and doing right now.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like to build a fire, you gotta chop down some trees. So from that standpoint, for you to become this fire, you may need to get as the wood, you need to get chopped down. You got to pick yourself back up. And like I said, that's the biggest thing I can feel for experience. Now, if you can overcome it, we've all overcome, obviously, a breakup, a relationship. Didn't hurt ourselves or anything like that. But that's the biggest thing, like I said, I can take from that is you may get hurt from a relationship, you may be in a relationship, but how do you learn from that experience? And we're going to be there to help guys our age, younger, learn from our experiences. And it's just amazing to see how we all share a very similar story. And like I said, behind a great man, girls always say there's a good woman, but behind usually any broken man, there's usually a girl that caused that or something like that, or help contribute to something like that.
That's fact. Like that's the fact, and that's a fact.
Like Stephen Cole
But
says, or he always says, if you complain, you will remain the same.
same. Yep. You
Yes.
complain, you will say the same. G.
Yeah, yo.
And I'm gonna also give it. I'm gonna give a Kevin Samuel quote. Later is always later. So for you to want to do something, so you may hear everything we're talking about. You may even, try to, you may just talk about, oh, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna put myself, but you may say, later I'll do this or later I'll do that. Whether it's, fitness, money, social status, or even in relationship. Oh, later I'll address what I wanted with her. Later will always become later down the road. So you need to start now. That is the biggest thing. If you're listening to the podcast, you're listening to this, we're going to have multiple episodes coming out. Obviously, we're going to go through experiences. We'll have fun experiences and like that. Like our boy Shane has to come out with us to karaoke night. That's a great example, yo. We could vlog a little bit of that. We'll show you some aspect, how to interact with girls, have that confidence. Because I guarantee you, in that bar, we're all confident guys. We can walk in and you control the room. You can mingle with the people. Like there's just and you want to get to that point, and like I said, I'm not hyping this up, but you want to get to that point to where, remember, we're not even in our prime, but we're confident on our abilities and just also on what we know. So, like I said, I'm ready to share these out for people, man. I'm ready to build this.
And then boosts your confidence because you're like, okay, I already have this knowledge, so I'm already ahead of the game. And and also having that abundance mindset. I used to think that, man, abundance mindset, what the fuck are you talking about? Da 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 da. Like, I didn't think that because I didn't see it. But once I incorporated that and seeing the results coming back to me and or from somebody else, it's like, oh, dude, it really is an abundance mindset. Even if it doesn't work out with that one person, you can still have that mindset of like, okay, on to the next one, because that's literally all it is. Like, there's you can't cry over spilled milk because that's nothing that you can control. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make a person like you. I mean, you can make a person like you, with if you pre-qualified for like certain aspects of yourself, but you can't make her be like, oh, I want you to have me. No, there's just no way.
You can trick yourself into making you think that she likes you. All right,
yes,
she don't really.
that's
She
what
don't,
I mean.
I have this money, or I have this attention, and I'm gonna just cater to her, and she doesn't respond to me, so I'll just play the good boy. I'll sit back, Oh, when she starts fucking with a real ass nigga, and then she gets hurt, and then she'll come back to you. No, like don't.
That's a blue pill thinking. That's blue pill thinking.
Definitely a blue pill.
Yes,
that's blue pill thinking.
Don't be scared to let these girls go, yo. And that's the biggest thing. You're building a foundation. And I'm going to end this off here because I think we had a very productive stream. Guys, as soon as you turn 18, even before you turn 18, build a foundation. Your goal is building a house. It's not literally. Build your foundation, your brand, yourself, money, fitness, social status. Build that foundation.
Get your own everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Do your own.
Yes.
Try to get your own money, your own business, your own house, your own everything, man.
Own everything.
Yes. And
own
that
kids.
house. Build that house and own that house. Yes, your own kids. Yes.
Yes.
All right, guys. If you want to plug your IGs, and then if you want to give a closing statement, and then we'll end this motherfucker.
All right, yo. Instagram is lameshane_. I know what it is, man. Catch y'all next time. What is next time? As a matter of fact, since we on that topic, we gotta get a.
So we'll keep it out in the air. So like me, I have a lot of time on my hands. So whenever y'all around, I'm around, yo. You want to do something on Monday or Tuesday, and then maybe do something on Friday. That way we can, and then maybe something again next week. That we can maybe. I'm trying to potentially try and get 3. It's a quick sit down for an hour. 3 shows every week, basically.
That's good. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, but my IG is Jordan_Rico. That's my IG. What is it? If you complain, you will stay the same. Always put yourself first.
Facts.
If I have these are my closing statements. Put yourself first, and you stay the same. That's all I got.
Facts. And then my closing statement, like I said, build the foundation to build the house. Focus on your foundation to the end goal of owning and having your own house. Once again, not literally, figuratively. All right, guys, that's been the Two True Podcast. Next episode hopefully comes around Monday or Tuesday, and we'll all see you guys next time. Peace out.
I hope. Please.